Marvel has made 3 fantastic Spider-Man movies, no doubt. Far From Home, Homecoming, No Way Home. They're all great. They really, really are. But they've not made any of the top 3 best Spider-Man movies, which are Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, and obviously a film that some people still consider one of the greatest comic book films of all time, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Sam Raimi, of course, is a director who's got lots of experience with the web head, I should say, making the first couple Spider-Man movies. Then there was Spider-Man 3, but whatever. We'll overlook that one. And, of course, right now, we're all looking forward to Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. A lot of rumors and reports going around that it'll start shooting this year. But who's going to direct it? Because John Watts, who directed the previous 3 Spider-Man movies, is moved on. He's doing other things now. Actually, he's got that Star Wars show coming out. What's it called? Skeleton Crew? He's got Skeleton Crew. And then he's making a movie with George Clooney and Brad Pitt.
Oh, Wolves.
Which, so he's kind of moved on. And good for him. He did 3 of the movies. Great. So who's going to be next? I think Jeremy Lin. Not Jeremy Lin. That was the basketball player. Yeah. Worked on the Fast and Furious as well.
Oh, Justin
Lin. Jeremy Lin coming out of basketball retirement to direct. So yeah, Justin Lin's been one of the names that's been mentioned, but a new name has kind of been thrown out there. That's an old name, Sam Raimi. That's the rumor. Now, before we talk any further about it, let's be very, very clear. None of this is coming from a rock solid place. None of this is coming from Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, or Deadline, or anything like that. But it is coming from a site that I like to read, World of Real. Anyway, this comes from the folks at CBR who wrote this. According to World of Real, Sam Raimi is the top contender to direct the next Sony/Marvel Spider-Man movie. Other names in the running include John Francis Daley, Jonathan Goldstein, as well as Jon Favreau, Drew Goddard, who directed the 2011 horror film Cabin in the Woods, and Justin Lin, who helmed 5 movies in the Fast and the Furious franchise, were previously mentioned but have signed up for other projects. Okay. So, again, with the giant asterisk that this is coming from one online outlet, right? Not one of the major trades, so take it with a giant grain of salt. Let's talk about it, though, about the merits of this rumor. There are several good reasons to buy into this rumor. Number one, Sam Raimi is a terrific director who has worked in so much genre. People loved Sam Raimi before he did the Spider-Man movies. And you know what? That Oz movie, that Oz the Great and Powerful movie he did, I really liked. That Drag Me to Hell movie he did. Oh, yeah. I love that.
Simple Plan.
Simple Plan. I mean, he's just a solid director.
Quick and the Dead.
And here's the thing, too. He's worked with Marvel. And Kevin Feige said something about him that I've not heard him say about any of his directors, which was Sam is the kind of guy who I don't need to check in on. He said he's one of these directors that I love having, he's a director that I can just, once he gets going on his movie, I don't have to check in on him. I know he's going to handle everything and everything will be fine. And by the way, while Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness gets a little bit of a bad rap, clearly it's not as good as, I don't personally think it's as good as the first Doctor Strange, but it was a lot more of a complex movie to try to do. And while some people may poo-poo on the movie, here's some facts. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness made $955 million at the box office.
That's a lot of change.
That is a lot of gold coins. It got a 73% Rotten Tomato critic score and an 85% audience score. And it is the high $955 million. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the highest grossing MCU movie out of their last 6 films. And it is the second highest grossing MCU movie out of the last 9 MCU movies, only coming in second to Spider-Man No Way Home. Other than Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the highest grossing film they've had in the last 9 films. So generally decently received by the critics, pretty positively received by the audience. Again, I don't think it's as good as the first one, but still, it was a more complex film. Biggest film they've done in the last 6, second biggest film they've done in the last 9. And Kevin Feige loves working with them. So if you're looking for a reason to believe in the feasibility of Sam Raimi, director of Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, possibly coming in to direct a Tom Holland Spider-Man 4, Rob, I think there's a lot of good reasons to think that this is very possible and very logical. That doesn't mean I think this is going to happen. This is still a rumor in the rumor mill, not being floated by one of the legitimate trades. But still, as a rumor goes, Rob, I think this rumors has got a lot behind it at this point. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to TryMiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. What would you think about the possibility of a Sam Raimi doing a Tom Holland Spider-Man 4, and how realistic do you think such a rumor could be?
Well, I mean, Evil Dead, which was his debut movie, came out in 1981. So you're looking at a guy that has quite a lot of experience in the entertainment business. He directed Darkman with our friend Liam Neeson. He's done so many different kinds of genre films. I love, if you guys haven't seen The Quick and the Dead, Russell Crowe, Sharon Stone, come on. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Lex Luthor.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman in that.
I mean, hell, I even have a screen credit on Army of Darkness, and he directed that. So I would say that Sam Raimi, in terms of having he directed the baseball movie. Was it For Love of the Game? What was the?
Did he do that? Did he do a baseball movie? I don't recall that. You're
He did
probably right.
Something like that. I don't remember. But he's done he's worked in every genre. A Simple Plan, based on Scott Smith's books. Same guy who wrote The Ruins. Great guy. Great book. Great movie. He knows his stuff. Like, he's one of the most experienced directors in Hollywood today.
That was Sam Raimi for Love of the Game.
It was Sam Raimi. Yeah, there you go. So you're looking at a guy that's worked in every genre, at every studio, at every level, and he can control a $200 million budget and deliver. So there's not a lot of people in Hollywood, I mean, that, it's funny because he's kind of, I hate to say it, but he's an elder statesman now.
He is.
He's up there. And he's also, people love that guy. And I think it's a perfect choice. He's certainly made Sony a lot of money. I mean, they're not going to be like, hey, who is this Raimi guy? And why would we hire him to do Spider-Man? I don't know, I think he's in a perfect position to do it. He's obviously made money for both studios. And I think it'd be really interesting because basically Spider-Man is in a blank slate now. No one knows who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
He's living on his own. You literally can rebuild Spider-Man almost from scratch. And that's an interesting position for a director to be in. Even though he's a franchise property IP now, you're starting from scratch. You have a blank slate.
Ray, what year did Spider-Man 3? See, find out for me, what year did Spider-Man 3 come out? Because here's, somebody brought up in the live chat a very good point. And I lost who it was that said it. What's that?
2007.
2007. So we're talking 17 years ago. Somebody brought up in the live chat that I don't know that I would want Sam Raimi. He had his time with Spider-Man. Fair point. That is a fair point. But let me tell you why that actually works. For me, it works in his favor. Because he's done Spider-Man. Some people would argue he's done the greatest Spider-Man of all time with Spider-Man 2. But he stumbled a bit with Spider-Man 3, right? He stumbled a bit with Spider-Man 3. And he's had 17 years to reflect on the things that he did that worked with Spider-Man, to reflect on the things that even he did that did not work on Spider-Man, to sit back and see somebody else take the helm on Spider-Man, both in live action form with John Watts and in animated form with Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. I actually think that puts him in a very interesting position to come back in and swing with Spider-Man again. I could totally see it. And by the way, if you're somebody who's dying to see a Tobey Maguire cameo in the next Spider-Man, put Sam Raimi in there, that probably increases the chance of that by 70 or 80%. So, I mean, look, do I think this will actually happen? I'm dubious. I'll be honest with you. I'm dubious that this actually happens. But there's a lot of things to this that make it make sense. So it's going to be interesting to sit back and see how this kind of all unfolds. Rob, if you had to give an over-under number as to the chances that we actually see Sam Raimi direct a Spider-Man 4, where would you set the number?
I would say 50%. Because I think Marvel needs experienced directors. They need experienced directors that have worked with big special effects and understand how to humanize these characters. And one of the things that I think Sam Raimi did best, look, he was not happy with the studio mandated the nightmare that was Spider-Man 3 for him. Massive budget, had to throw all this stuff. It wasn't the movie he wanted to make. And that's why he walked from Spider-Man 4. You know, I think what's great about this movie is Sam Raimi can deliver the goods, but he can concentrate on the character of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He's not forced, let's have Sandman, let's have Venom, let's have this, let's have that. You've got to build this character back up and humanize him. And that's what I think Sam Raimi's big strength is. He can take all the hell's a poppin' crazy Evil Dead or Oz or Dark Man or whatever, and then humanize that character.
Right.
That's what he's best at.
One of our live chat equity group is saying, facts, they hired a nobody to do the Marvels, and look what happened. I didn't think the Marvels was all that bad. But by the way, I just want to follow on the logic. They hired a couple of nobodies to direct Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Because nobody had ever heard of the Russo brothers before that. Like, very, very few people had ever heard their names. They are the guys who did You, Me, and Dupree. I mean, and so, look, Kevin Feige's got a pretty good handle on finding directors that know how to work in his wheelhouse.
And he's already proven himself making Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, and genre in general. Like, he's really good in that. So I'm going to take the under on 50%, but not a lot. Like, I'd probably be around the 40 to 45 range. It'll be interesting to see how this all turns out. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.